Yo, it's your boy, the Ghetto Wrestling Fan, and I'm back for another video. And this is going to be my first AEW Dynamite recap video, so bear with me here. Let me get into this action. The show was decent. It was a standard wrestling event. If you truly a wrestling fan, you enjoyed it. If you view wrestling, but you don't watch it that much, it could have been kind of boring to you if you didn't understand how everything was set up. But it was pretty much of a good show from what I seen. I watched the whole show. I'm gonna tune into Dynamite. I said Dynamite. I'm gonna tune into Collision. I don't plan on doing a recap video on Collision, but I will tune in. Dynamite was good last night. So let's get into the action. So we start off with Darby Allin. Now this guy, every time he come to the ring, he don't want to make it home. This guy wrestled like he got a death wish. He wrestled like he's looking forward to death. Like, I know he got to be on some type of drugs to do this every week. Every time he come out, every match, he can never wrestle a normal match. Every match he have is like a grudge match or some type of extreme match where he damn near look like he's not going to survive. This guy's like Mick Foley on steroids. Me and Darby Allin, we around the same age. He's 33, I'm 33. And by the time we get to our 40s and 50s, I don't know if he's going to be, it's not going to look good for him. Anyway, he started off the match. He have a match with Pac. Before the match even start, we get crazy moves, slams on Darby was slammed on the steps. They brawl into the crowd. Before the match even start, okay, we get into the match. It was a real good, solid match. Decent, entertaining, violent. Everything I look for when I watch a wrestling event. At the end of the match, Darby Allin picked up the win. He got the victory, and he got the hell out of Dodge. Because, Pac got a whole stable behind him. But that was a good match. A crazy way to start off a wrestling show. That was more of some main event type action when we got to start the show off. But anyway, we did get into the little segment with Samoan Joe. Samoan Joe, he basically said he got a bounty on Hangman, Adam Page head. So Brian Keith supposed to be the bounty hunter. This a match they picked up. It wasn't on the card. He go one-on-one with Hangman Page. Pretty solid match. Brian Keith, he gets helped by Big Bill. Big Bill, he kept interfering in the match, so Swerve came out and dealt with Big Bill, and Hangman Adam Page picks up the victory. After this match, we go into like a super promo back to back. It's like they said, let's go ahead and get all the promos in there and get it out the way because I don't want to worry about it later in the show. That's why I got out of it. So we get Kenny Omega. He comes out doing Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland promo. And he said he was scheduled to come out later in the night, but why not come out now while everybody talking about title matches? Because they all are interested in facing MJF for the AEW World Championship. So that's basically what this promo was about. They Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, they share their friendship, but they say it don't matter that we friends. When it comes to the AEW title, we're gonna go to war for it. And Kenny Omega reminds Hangman and Adam Page, it don't matter if you a friend or a foe. And we said foe, he was referencing Swerve Strickland. And then in the middle of that promo, Don Callis family, Don Callis comes out and he challenges Kenny Omega to a match. And Kenny Omega agrees because he said he don't feel like he should use his status because, he got a high ranking in the AEW. I think he's a VP or something like that, the AEW VP. So he said he's not going to use his status to get the title. He want to work and earn his title match. So he then accepts Don Callis' offer to take on some of his top talents in his stable. But Don Callis, he rejects the offer. He said he's not doing it tonight. He gonna do it next week on Dynamite. He said he gonna do it on his terms, and Kenny Omega is on his terms. So I guess next week is gonna be Kenny Omega versus one of the wrestlers from Don Callis family. So Kenny Omega will be in action next week on AEW as he get closer to his rematch in his challenger match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Next, we got Brody King. Brody King basically had a squash match. It wasn't nothing really to talk about in this segment. You can tell they were just killing a little time on the clock as they get ready for the next match. Brody King comes out and he destroys this unknown guy. I don't know who he is. It was a squash match anyway. And he basically wishes good luck to Bandido, who's going to be wrestling MJF in the main event later on tonight. We're going to cover that. We're going to get to that. So after the squash match, we then get to the fatal four-way tag match for the opportunity to face FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championship. See, this match, it was decent, but it was a lot of goofy segments in the match. You could tell they choreographed a couple things in the match, and it was kind of stupid. In my opinion, it was dumb the way the setup was. It was all over the place. It was like a freestyle backyard after school, you and your friends in the ring having fun. That's what it looked like. It was a good match, but it was also a lot of goofy things going on in this match. If I'm keeping it real, a lot of unnecessary things going on in this match. So Davis and Jake from the Dunn Callis family picks up the victory out of the fatal four-way tag team match, and they are the new number one contenders for FTR AEW Tag Team Championships. So that's going to take place as they pick up the victory. FTR then comes out and get in their face, and we got a little melee between FTR and the new number one contenders for the AEW Tag Team Championships. So they getting the build up for the title match between FTR and the Dunn Callis family, Davis and Jake. So I'm looking forward to see that. I'm not familiar with Davis and Jake, but I am familiar with FTR, so that should be a good one. Moving on. Next, we got a women's trios match. Chris Stanley, the AEW Women's Champion, her team, versus the Triangle of Madness. We get this match. This match was kind of mid, my opinion. It was all right, but it was kind of boring a little bit. Anyway, Triangle of Madness, the Triangle of Madness, they picked up the victory, and they beat AEW Women's Champion, AEW Tag Team, Women's Tag Team Champions, and the AEW TBS Champion, all in one match. They got the victory. That was a hell of a defeat for them last night. We then get into the main event. So for the main event, we got Bandido versus MJF. Now, this match started off kind of boring a little bit. Then the action picked up and they put on the clinic. It was a good match, back and forth. A lot of lucha athletic moves in the match. MJF showed off why he one of the top heels in AEW. But fairly, at the end of the match, MJF picks up the victory. MJF reclaims his AEW World Heavyweight Championship. MJF shows respect to his opponent. He said he can see him as a future AEW champion. And then he attacks him. As he attacks him, Brody King comes out. After that, he came out to stop MJF from unmasking Bandido. They celebrate. And that's pretty much the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. And this is my first review of AEW Dynamite. So if I had to rate the show, I'd give it a 6 or a 7. It was a decent show, a lot of action. I felt like the backstage segments and the promos was kind of bootleg and low budget. They could have did better with that. The Fatal 4-Way match had a lot of goofy spots in it. The women's trio match, boring. It was kind of boring. Then we had a squash match. It was a well put together wrestling show. I give it a 7. As you guys know, I keep on saying this. I don't know. I guess I keep saying it because I'm happy. I will be at AEW Dynamite Las Vegas, February 4th at the Pearls Theater inside the Palms. I will be there, and I will be doing a review. That's going to be my next review, my next recap. AEW. I'm going to go watch it live so I'll be able to tell you guys with my own eyes what I seen with my own eyes, live and in person, the action and everything that took place. And that's going to be February 4th. But it's your boy, the Ghetto Wrestling Fan. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and especially let me know if you want to keep seeing these recaps for AEW, because I've been doing a lot of WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews. I think I might do more AEW reviews going forward. Thanks, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown. It's your boy, the Ghetto Wrestling Fan, and I'm out. Peace.